Welcome to the MamasteFit YouTube channel. In this workout video, we're going to be doing a birth preparation workout. So we're using our birth ball to help us open each of the pelvic levels. Your pelvis has 3 separate levels, the top, the middle, and the bottom, and they all open with different types of movement patterns. And so during this workout, I'm going to walk you through how each of these exercises is helping to prepare you to open each pelvic level to help you be able to create more space in your pelvis for your baby to more easily navigate. But before we dive into the workout, I want to share that my book, Training for Two, is now available for pre-order. The book comes out in September of 2024, so depending on when you're watching this video, it may already be released. Training for Two is all about how you can use your prenatal fitness to support a strong pregnancy, a pain-free pregnancy, in addition to help you prepare for birth, because our prenatal workouts can be so much more than just a bunch of pregnancy-safe exercises. We can also incorporate exercises within our workout routine to help us prepare to create space within our pelvis and to release tension within our pelvic floor for hopefully an easier labor. You can check out Training for Two in the notes below, pre-order today, or grab a copy depending on when you're watching this video. In addition for Training for Two, we do offer prenatal fitness programs as well. And so if you're looking for daily workouts to guide you throughout your pregnancy to help support a strong pregnancy, pain-free, and again, also helping you prepare for birth, check out our online prenatal fitness programs. We offer an on-demand program, which is workouts like these, where they're going to be a full-length workout video that you follow at the same time. This one is going to sync to your trimester, so we have a first, second, and third, but you can bundle all 3 together to save. But if you prefer to work out at your own pace with an app, we also offer our prenatal fitness program in an app known as the Team Builder app. And this is going to be delivered as a list of exercise with demo videos, but we do incorporate birth preparation workouts as well. And so those workouts are also included. They're just in a different format. You can check out all of our prenatal fitness programs down in the notes below and grab a free sample so you can figure out which of our programs is the best fit for you. For this workout, all we're going to need is a birth ball. We're going to do all our movements using the birth ball to help provide support. And we're going to start with our inlet. We're going to do 3 rounds of 2 movements. Then we're going to move into the middle of the pelvis. And then we're going to finish with the outlet. So just pay attention as we move through, because after about 3 rounds of each exercise, we're going to move to some different movements. The whole workout is going to be about 20 to 21 minutes long. For this workout, we're going to need a birth ball or a stability ball to use for pretty much every exercise, but there are a few other pieces of equipment that you'll need. You'll also need a soft object like a Pilates ball, a yoga block, or even a small pillow, and a long resistance band that's not attached to anything. And then I'm going to be using a bolster, which is a thick pillow, but you can also use a yoga block for some of the final exercises. Once you've got your equipment, let's go and get started with round number 1 of today's workout. So we're going to start round number 1 with a birth ball squat. So you're going to put the birth ball against your back, preferably around like the back of your hip area. And then you're going to step the feet forward. So be in a space where your feet are not going to slide out from underneath you. And then we're going to use the birth ball to sit down to the bottom of our squat. You can use your knees to provide some support down here. And then exhale to come up. So if you need it to be a little bit easier, just step the feet out a little bit more. Inhale to lower to whatever depth feels comfortable for you. And then exhale to come up. And we're going to do this for about 1 minute. And again, you can use your hands to help kind of push you up as needed. To open the top of the pelvis, we're looking for wide knees. So knees coming out a lot further with that external hip rotation. This is going to help to create more space side to side in the top of our pelvis. And so we may need to kind of adjust the ball just a little bit as you go. But we're using the birth ball to help provide some support as we go through this motion. Now let the ball come down to the floor and we're going to sit down on it to do some front to back pelvic tilt. So we're going to find an arch in the back and then round in the back to tuck the butt underneath. And we're just going to move forward and backwards. So begin to arch in the back, round in the back, just moving forward and backwards. You can have the knees a little bit wider as you do this as well. Because again, we're trying to emphasize that the knees are wide to create space in the top of the pelvis, but we also need to be able to create front to back pelvic movement to help create space in the top of the pelvis as well, from the front to the back. So we have our wide knees and our pelvic tilting to open the top of the pelvis, which is where baby first enters or engages into the pelvis. So this pelvic mobility is super important. We can also add in some upper body movement with the head, so looking up to the ceiling as we arch and looking down to the chest as we round. Let's go back to our birth ball squat. So we're going to do 3 total rounds. So again, I'm putting it right around like my lower back area, like my hips. Feet are going to be a little bit further away from the wall. Inhale to lower down, and then exhale to come up. And again, it's this wide knee movement with more of that external rotation that's helping to create that space side to side in the top of the pelvis to help baby enter. About halfway, so 30 more seconds here, and then we'll go back to the pelvic tilt. Here we're going to do 3 total rounds of this before we move on to opening the middle of the pelvis. Ten seconds to go. Now go ahead and grab that ball, and we're going to sit down on it again for those pelvic tilts. Knees are going to be wider because, again, we're trying to create space in the top of the pelvis. And then we're going to move front to back. So begin to arch in the back, look up to the ceiling, exhale, round, tuck the butt underneath. And we're just moving front to back, pausing at any point that feels more sticky for you, or like you feel like you're having a harder time being it. Typically, it's that tucked position. So we can sit here and hold to breathe. And then move to the arch. So we can use the exhale to kind of bring that ribcage and pelvis a little bit closer together to help us come deeper into this rounded position. Five seconds, and we'll move to our final round of the inlet opening movements. Coming back to our squats, bringing the ball to the wall. Again, right around like the lower back area. Feet are gonna be wide. And then inhale to drop down, exhale, come on up. So inhale down, find whatever depth feels good for you. And then again, you can use your hands to kind of help push you up as needed. Having stronger legs can also be really beneficial for labor because it's going to help you maintain a more upright position. These upright laboring positions can be super beneficial because it puts more pressure down onto the cervix, which helps with that labor feedback loop. So it could help your contractions get stronger, a little bit quicker, and help you move through the process a little bit faster. Let's go on, moving to those pelvic tilts. So again, we're sitting on the ball. We're going to move forward and backwards, thinking tuck the butt underneath and then arch in the back. Go ahead and tuck the butt underneath, arch in the back to look up, and just moving front to back. A common question we get is, how do I know where my baby is within my pelvis? What labor position should I be doing? And one of the cool things is we tend to intuitively move in a way that creates more space in our pelvis based on where our baby is. So if your baby is still trying to enter or engage into the pelvis, it means they're still trying to navigate the inlet. And because of that, we tend to favor movements that look like this. We're moving forward and backwards. We're kind of tucking the butt underneath. Maybe knees are a little bit wider. So we're just creating the space that we need in the top of our pelvis without really thinking about it. So if you're having a contraction and you're moving front to back, it could be a really good clue that your baby's still trying to enter or engage into the pelvis. So now for the second half of the workout, we're going to take that Pilates ball or soft object, place it between our thighs, and then we're going to be holding on to our long resistance band. I'm going to start by shifting my left knee forward and right knee back. So I'm in this hip shifted position. And then I'm going to row the right arm back as I press forward with the left. This is going to bring me a little bit deeper into that twist. Inhale to reach forward. Exhale, squeeze the ball as you row the band back, and then come back forward. And we're just going to continue to do this for about 10 more seconds, and then we're going to switch immediately into the other side. Go ahead and switch left knee back, right knee forward. Row that band back, reach forward. This movement is bringing some asymmetry to the pelvis, so we're coming into a hip-shifted position, which is really helpful to opening the lower mid-pelvis or the lower part of our pelvis. So go ahead and put your equipment down, and we're going to come to the ball, and we're going to come into this half lunge. So the leg is going to be out, and then we're going to use the ball to just provide a little bit of support as we shift into that knee. So go ahead and shift your weight into that one knee. Feel a big stretch in that groin. Keep that knee coming out and then coming back up. So we're shifting into it and then coming back up. So the combo of these two moves is the archer row with the hip shift is creating more space in the bottom part of the mid-pelvis because it's a more closed hip position, while this one is a more open hip position, which helps to open the upper mid-pelvis. Let's go ahead and switch sides. The leg is out, and we're kind of rocking into it using the ball to provide a little bit of support. So the upper mid-pelvis is where your baby begins their rotation into the pelvis, while the lower mid-pelvis is where baby finishes their rotation. And so having a combo of open hip with more external rotation on one side and closed hip can be beneficial to creating space in the middle of the pelvis. Let's come back to our seated position, grabbing onto our ball and our band. So right hip is going to come back, left knee is forward, and I'm going to row back with this right arm first and then switching sides. So exhale, row as you squeeze that ball. Inhale, reach forward. I'm rotating belly more towards that front thigh as I push and pull on this band to twist my upper body. Get ready to switch. Left knee back, right knee forward, squeeze the ball. So we're using this upper body rotation to help us move deeper into the hips. Go ahead and put the equipment down. We're moving on to the half lunges. So leg is out in this open hip position. So my knee and my front or outside foot are like perpendicular to one another. So I'm shifting towards that outside knee, feeling a big stretch in that groin, and then coming back. Just using the ball to give me a little bit of support as I move in and out of this groin stretch. 5 seconds, we'll switch sides. Go ahead and switch. So now we're shifting to that other leg. Moving to the last round of the archer row in our mid-pelvis openers. So ball is between the thigh, bringing the right knee back. Left knee is shooting forward. Exhale, squeeze that ball as you row the right arm back and push that left arm forward, and then come back. So rotating in the upper body so the belly comes more towards that right thigh. You can even put a little bit of weight in that right big toe. Let's switch. So left knee back, right knee forward, squeeze the ball and row the left arm back. Keeping a little bit more weight in that left big toe. Squeeze the ball. Go ahead and place the equipment down, and now we're gonna come back into those half lunges. So legs are gonna be perpendicular. So back shin and outside toe, gonna kind of push out a little bit more. And push into that hip, and then come back up. So a helpful way to know whether or not your baby has engaged during labor, like should you still be doing inlet movements or should you be doing movements that create more space in the mid-pelvis, is during contractions, we tend to begin to shift more side to side. We're favoring more asymmetrical movements where like one leg is doing something different than the other. So you may notice during contractions, you're just a little bit more swayy. Let's switch sides. And everything just becomes side to side. You're favoring one leg more than the other. Those are all like really good signs that baby has entered into the pelvis. So now we're gonna move into the outlet opening movement. So placing your equipment to the side, we're gonna come into a supine position with the feet up on the ball. So this is gonna be more of like a hamstring curl. So legs will be straight, and then we're going to lift the hips as we pull the ball to us, and then push the hips out. If that feels too much, hips can stay down, and you can just roll the ball in and out, being very active in the heels. So I'm like actively driving my heels down into the ball to feel my hamstrings turn on. If you want a little bit more, elevate the hips and then drag the ball in and out. So choose whatever feels most accessible for you. We've got about 30 more seconds here. And you can kind of alternate between the two. Maybe you do like 10 seconds with the hips up, 10 with them down. But we're focusing on activating in the hamstrings. And now we're gonna come into a seated position. If you need a little bit of support, you can sit down on like a yoga block or a pillow, but knees are gonna be together, ankles a little bit more out for a hero's pose. And then your forearms are gonna be on the ball. So we're gonna reach forward with the ball and then push down into the ball to kind of crunch as you come back into this more rounded position. So inhale, come forward. Exhale, push down on the ball, crunch into this position. So the bottom of the pelvis opens more with internal hip rotation. So it's opposite of the top of the pelvis, which opens more with external hip rotation. And so this hero's pose is an internal hip rotating position, but things that help us find internal hip rotation is going to be your core, activating to help find a more rounded position. And then your hamstrings and inner thighs help to pull the pelvis into that internal rotation. Let's come back onto our backs for the hamstring ball curls. So again, hips can be down or you can elevate them depending on what feels best for you. And you can alternate between the two. So go ahead and extend in the legs and then push the heels into the ball as you bring it towards your body, either with the hips down or we can elevate the hips, which will be a little bit more challenging. And so this movement is primarily targeting our hamstrings, which, like I said before, helps to pull the pelvis into internal hip rotation, which creates more space side to side in the bottom of the pelvis. And then again, hips can be up or they can be down, depending on what feels best for you. If hips are down, we're actively pressing down into the ball with our heels to turn on those hamstrings. Let's go ahead and come onto our seated position. If you want to sit down on something, feel free. You can also sit directly down to the floor, which will bring you a little bit deeper into this internally rotated position. So forearms are on the ball. I'm going to exhale to pull the ball towards me as I round in my back, and then inhale, come a little bit forward. Exhale, round, inhale, come forward. And again, our core activating helps to pull us into a more rounded position, which makes it easier for us to find internal hip rotation. In addition, your core can be a big aid when it comes to pushing. And the pelvic outlet is the bottom of the pelvis. And this is what we want to create more space as we are pushing our babies out. And so having a strong core can also aid you in pushing. Let's finish up with that hamstring curl for the final round. So coming onto your back, ball or heels are driving into the ball. Hips are either going to be down or they're going to be elevated. So press down into the ball, should drag it to your hips. Inhale, come out. Exhale, bring it to your hips. Inhale, come out. Either hips down or elevated. Elevated again, a little bit more challenging. Hips either up or down. And again, you can kind of alternate as you go as well. But really targeting the back of the thighs, that should be what's kind of firing for you right now. So when we're preparing for birth, it's not just mobility. We also want to strengthen because muscles are what help to pull our pelvis into these different positions. Coming to that seated position, back to the hero's pose, either hips directly on the floor or you can sit down to a pillow or yoga block. But knees are in, ankles are out. And then my forearms are pressing into the ball. So reaching forward, press them down as I round in my back as if I'm crunching. And then inhale, come forward. So the internal hip rotation creates space side to side in the bottom of the pelvis. So essentially thinking like knees in, ankles out. But then if we want to think about creating space front to back in the bottom of the pelvis, the front to back pelvic tilting can be helpful, but we also want to have some lat engagement, which is what this crunching is also doing. We're pulling the ball towards me, kind of activate in my lats, because tension within the lat musculature, while the actual muscle does not attach to our sacrum, there's a lot of tissue and structure that does, which can help to kind of influence pulling the bottom of the sacrum out to create space front to back. And that concludes our birth preparation workout. So in this workout, we focused on creating space in each of the pelvic levels, the top of the pelvis with more external hip rotation or wide knees, plus the pelvic tilting front to back. We focused on a little bit more asymmetrical movements to help create space in the mid-pelvis with the hip shift, and then that open hip half kneeling lunge. And then we focused on creating space in the bottom part of the pelvis or the pelvic outlet with more internal hip rotation and strengthening in the hamstrings and the lats. We hope that you enjoyed this birth preparation workout. If you want more support from us throughout your pregnancy, check out our online prenatal fitness programs. We offer our prenatal fitness programs in those two formats. We have the app-based program, which is going to be self-paced as a list of exercises with short demo videos. This is a great option for those of you that like to work out in a gym setting. Maybe you want to work out with a barbell throughout your pregnancy. We incorporate birth preparation workouts every week in that program. And then we also have our prenatal on-demand program, which is going to be a video more like this, where you follow and work out with me at the same time. We have that one for first, second, and third trimester. The second and third trimester both have birth preparation on-demand workouts like these. You can check out all of our prenatal fitness programs on our website and use code YouTube10 to get 10% off. And you can bundle our prenatal fitness programs with childbirth education and Pelvic prep to save an additional 15% off. You can check out all of our online courses on our website at MamasteFit.com, or you can check them out in the notes below. So thanks so much for joining. We hope that you enjoyed this workout. Stay tuned every Tuesday for a new workout from us and tons of educational videos every week on our YouTube channel.